Hello, I'm Jacqueline Stewart, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Last week I told you that I had taken the national exam for a second time, and I had failed that second time. However, I knew that I was on the right track because my score was better the second time than it was the first time. So I went back and I studied even more for an extra week. I made sure to watch the videos over and over and study the materials over and over that I had. I made sure to stay connected with my group and just really get fired up about going in for a third time in order to take my national exam. And so, like I said, from the second time of me failing and going back in the third time, it was a week in time, okay? So I studied an extra week before I went back in the third time. And so I went in, y'all, I was so exhausted from studying for the national exam, listening to videos. Even on my walk, when I would go exercising, I would have my headphones in my ear, listening to videos, listening to terms, listening to definitions. I would sit in my living room and literally listen to videos on my TV, and I would have my binder with all of my information, my study materials, my book in order to study terms and all of these different things. And I had papers and I had little what do they call them, like little cards with words on them. It was so much stuff, and I was really exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically studying to take the national exam because I wanted it so bad. Like, I would be up during the night, I would wake up early in the morning. Mind you, I still have kids, I have a husband, I have a full-time job, I'm in grad school, but I wanted it so bad. So I was literally exhausted. When I went in the third time to take the national exam, I was very exhausted. However, I was able to keep my peace and just pray. And I got in there and I was like, oh my gosh, taking the test. Really, the second time I was more confident than the third time, because the third time I was so exhausted. I was like, Lord, I need your help, because every time that you go in to take the test, it's a different test. So what you may see the first time, you're not going to see the second time. And what you see the second time, you won't see the third time. And so, and then the way that they present the test, the intentions are to kind of trick you up a little bit. So, your mind game really has to be ready, strong, and on. And so I was so exhausted. I went in there. I flagged the ones that I didn't know or that I wasn't sure about. And the ones that I was sure about, I made sure to answer. And then, I was able to take a little potty break. And when I took the potty break, it was kind of like I had got my second wind. And when I came back, I went back over the things that I didn't know, and I was like, okay, God, you have to help me. For those of you that believe in, God, or religion, I believe in God. So when I'm tired like that, I have to really lean on Him just for that help and that faith and that strength. And so I did, and it was kind of like the answers were just coming to me, and when I finished, it was like a breath of fresh air, but I didn't know if I had passed, but I knew that I had given it my all. I had given it my all. And so really, to be honest with you, if I didn't pass the third time, I was just literally going to take a break for some months. And so I finished my test. I let the lady know that I was finished. She printed it out for me. I grabbed my report. I did not look at it. I signed out, did everything that I needed to do. I went to my locker to get my belongings, and I set my paper down on the chair that was like in this locker room. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and get a sneak peek. And so I looked at it and it said pass. Oh my gosh, I could have fallen out. I was so relieved. I was so grateful. I was so thankful that I had passed my third time around. And I knew that it was due, of course, to me studying, me really just changing my game plan when it came to studying, how I studied, what I studied, who I was connected to, what I was connected to, and just you know, of course, faith, and just resting in God and believing that I can do it. You know, I didn't know when it was gonna come, like when I was gonna pass, but I knew that I could do it if I put my all into it. So there you go. The third time around, I passed. Thank God. So next week, I'll get more in depth about moving on into the state exam, how I studied for that, how long I studied from, you know, when I passed the national to studying for the state and then taking the state. Okay? We'll talk more about that next week. I hope you are enjoying these videos. And then after we finish discussing the state, I'll get more into the materials that I studied, the videos that I watched, the company that, you know, that I was connected to, the group that I was connected to. So possibly you can use these same resources and they can help you as well if you're trying to be a real estate agent. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're gaining something from, you know, our conversations. You all have a great day. Bye-bye.